MotorHead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is brought to you by RockAuto.com. All the parts your car will ever need. BrothersTrucks.com, your #1 source for 1947 to 87 Chevy and GMC truck restoration. Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. NH Oil Undercoating, the official oil-based rust prevention system. And by Odors X, professional disinfection and odor removal service.
Thanks for joining us here on MotorHead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. Now close your eyes and imagine a bicycle. All right, now make it electric. Open your eyes now. Yes, everything you just envisioned is completely wrong. This is how it's done. This is an e-bike from Electric eBikes. Now tell me, Levi, how did you go from the classic bicycle or even e-bike to this?
Yeah, let me take you on a journey. 2019. My old man, my mom, they wanted e-bikes and they didn't want to spend $3,000 to $5,000 on them, right? And so they came to me and asked my buddy and I to try to figure it out. So we cook up our first prototype version, create our first batch of them and everything like that, go back to my parents and say, here it is, ready to sell it, at all the trade shows and everything like that. Absolute disaster. We couldn't sell these bikes to my own parents. They wanted to go faster. They wanted more range. They had this feeling of, oh, if I get a bike, then I need a bike rack and all those things. And so then we got to go back to the drawing board and we got to redesign this whole thing. We need it to be foldable. We need it to have class 3, 28 mile per hour performance. All of those things were just, created in this bike off of that initial disaster of our first design of our e-bike. So, yeah.
Some of the best things are born from accidents here.
Oh, definitely.
So what are some of those features that evolved in the bike once you guys started learning from all the folks out there?
Yeah, so, I think most notably is the foldability aspect of it that we saw here is that, you can do something like this, you can fold the pedals in, you can fold the frame in. This is, the big aspect of the bike that really has made it such a massive success. And what that allows us to do is deliver every single bike fully assembled, ready to ride. Customers, what we learned, did not want to be building their own bikes and everything like that. And we kind of came to this realization that it's our job to build the bike, not theirs. So that was one of the biggest things that we got, and it allows you to not have to buy a bike rack and all that stuff. You can just fold this up and throw it in your RV, your van, your car, whatever it is, and it makes life simpler for the customer. So I think that's one of the big things. The whole bike is running off a 48-volt system. And so the battery, it's a removable battery that's hidden inside the frame here. And so that is what powers the 500-watt, 850-watt peak motor here in the back here. But what's really cool and unique about this is still a class 3 e-bike. So there's not really any other bike on the market right now that achieves class 3 performance with a 500-watt system. And so having really dialed in temperature control system back here allows us to reach that performance at speed, but still deliver the customer a really, great value and price point. So, I mentioned how my old man didn't want to spend a couple grand on them. Well, we had this feeling of we have to be sub $1,000 for my own parents to even buy from us. So let's just try to get there. And that was the objective. And now we have successfully done that, have bikes starting at $799. And that's what's allowed us to be, the fastest growing electric bike company, and now currently the largest electric bike company in 2022, which is really gnarly. So it's that aspect of attainability. There's a direct correlation between that price point and the number of bikes we can get out there on the road. And so we're super mindful of that. But meanwhile, you got to be super dialed in on the quality aspect of it. So just because it's half the price doesn't mean you can do half the quality. You need to, exceed all expectations on every single front. And so when people go through the bike and everything, they'll notice all the same parts. So, we have these Well-Go folding aluminum pedals. We use Pro Wheel cranks. We use Shimano. We use Tektro. We're still rocking a full 48-volt system. front oil suspension, CST tires, all of these things that you would expect to see on a bike, $2,000-3,000, right? We just packaged in on a bike that's $999 and it's showing up to your doorstep, fully assembled, ready to ride, which just makes life easy.
It's features like those that make these bikes so popular. Just how popular?
Yeah, so if you were to look at the EV market as a whole, and you look at Ford, GM, Nissan, Audi, Volkswagen, all those players in the space right now, basically everybody not named Tesla, combine all those, and we will sell more EVs in 2022 here in the US than all of them combined.
Get an e-bike for yourself. Get one for every member in the family because they are that affordable. Go to lectricebikes.com. We'll be right back with more MotorHead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, so do not go anywhere.